Teta Kondeji Chu Tamji Yene Mashiba, or Tomba Nijerongi, Yimbate, the Yimbigene, the Sartane, the Nyansolons.
So all the samsaric and the nirvana phenomena, according to their absolute nature, it is the emptiness. And according to that, one need to understand that emptiness nature, and with that, then just give rise to the supplication prayer, and then do the practice. So all these phenomena such as external world, these mountains and rivers and rocks and houses and people and sentient being, everything by their nature, it is the emptiness, and there is no anything that has any inherent existence. So something which is not existing as a true nature, we don't have to establish to be, real. Till now, that we are wandering in the samsara is just because of the attachment and grasping in relation with the perceiving as real. So we don't have to just establish the true existence of phenomena. It is just only there. So just because of that we are wandering in the samsara, endlessly. So all this existence of phenomena, houses and rocks and mountains and so forth, that if we try to establish in something different way, it is possible we could, accomplish with that. For instance, like a long time back, some of other non-Buddhist meditationers, that they concentrate that everything is like rocks and mountains, and they continue doing that meditation for like months and years, many years, and then at the end they could really perceive in that way. Long time back in Varanasi in India, that there is an old woman, and then somehow for some reason that she visualized herself as a tiger, and then started just meditating as appearing as a tiger for many years, and then later that everybody could see as a tiger. And she also accomplished the appearance of the tiger, and other people also can see in that way. And because of that, people get so scared, and then all people left, so it became just empty town. So similar like that, that if one try to accomplish something, that it is possible. So this samsara, there is already existing. We don't have to just practice on it. So what more important for us is that how we can just dissolve all this existence of phenomena into the emptiness nature. That is our main training. So since everything is by its nature, it is the emptiness, so that is why there is the some sense of appearance of these houses and rocks in that way. So it is already there, we don't have to establish again. Now what we really need to do, the most important part of the practice is how we can establish the emptiness nature. Don't just think that, there is house, there's all sorts of, object, and not to just kind of, conceptualize in that way. This our present world with all these houses and building and so forth, when the 1000 Buddha already just come on this earth, and then at the end of the world, then these all even doesn't exist, even its particles. So that is why without any sort of imagination of this existence, one should to establish everything as emptiness nature. So how, according to its primordial nature as emptiness, and that what we need to recognize and understand, and based on that, we try to just meditate and abide in emptiness nature. Right now, it is all just because of our common karma of the samsara, how it just appears. So there is nothing to really grasp or cling on it. Just don't do that. Don't deceive oneself. So if we continue in this way, then the problem is we could not liberate from the suffering of samsara. We are not just try to accomplish the samsara, we try to accomplish the liberation and enlightenment. So in this way, don't grasp that all these worldly phenomena as something very permanent. We just in generally thinking all these worldly phenomena are something good and permanent, and just by that it doesn't just become even better. If we could to establish everything in emptiness nature, without any elaboration, that great emptiness, then at that time we could have the actual accomplishment. So for that reason and purpose that we all just doing these practices, and then is obligating to Triple Gem and to the Guru and all these Buddhas and so forth. So one should have belief and faith in the Buddha's teaching, otherwise it is more difficult to be liberated. That some American students that they say that, if I just carry through all this practice and attain enlightenment, then what is just behind that? So that one not necessarily have so much of attachment or worry about that there is the samsara is like endless.
Tatanga Sung Liden Niki, Tatanga Sineton Direma Mato Tong Meton Tong Maremato, Tata Dirty the Niche King of the sentient come Tong about years.
That according to our own obscuration, that only we perceive this our present world, but in reality, like within a kind of just particle or a atom, there can be just countless of those worlds are existing. For instance, like the realized bodhisattvas, that they could perceive like countless sentient beings in a kind of like a thumb-sized spot. But still, that the enlightened Buddhas, when they perceive, then it is just like 100 and 1,000 times more of those numbers. So what we are doing all this practice is that how we can liberate from the grasping of the true existence and then to liberate from the dualistic mind. So the moment there is the existence of a sentient being, element that it is by its nature, there is so much suffering, there is nothing much of happiness. So as we hear all this teaching about the precious human rebirth, how difficult it is to obtain, if we really contemplate on it, it seems like impossible to even just obtain such a support. So, for instance, like when the parents were in a union, then there are just countless of consciousness that which need to obtain a form. But still, it is just because of their, karmic connection, that consciousness which can enter into the mother wombs, and others still they cannot just really enter through. And for instance, within our one body, it has been explained there are like 84,000 all sorts of insects. So even for instance, like our lips and tongues and teeth and nose and eyes and so forth, each and every individual, this faculty, the organs, that also there it explained how many different kinds of just insects are existing. For instance, if I just threw a sputum, then there is also that much beings are there. But still we cannot see it. It doesn't mean that it is not existing, it is there. Even just, whether we do like a big urine or, small, even those also have lots of germs. So in that way, there is the beings which in a way kind of, countless in number. So as we consider all those existence, then we could understand that it is very difficult to obtain a precious human rebirth. So then we just the most important part is how we could liberate and take that advantage of this precious human rebirth being not wasted. So also it is taught that the number of beings in the hell, it is explained with the example of that that the whole earth dust number, that much is there. Then also it is explained that the numbers in the hungry ghost beings is like even equal to when there are snowflakes falling down. And then according to the animal realm, that much is number that equal to a just scent of a big river. And also these insects that even we could not see with our this naked eyes. For example, like even these days, the scientists with the certain kind of equipment that they also can see that there are so many germs, even equal to number of drops of the water. But we are drinking water, we are not drinking those germs or insects. But it seems like that. So the element nature of the sentient beings or the number, that there is no way that we can have the actual measurement of it. That tiny insect that which even we could not see with our naked eyes, even that insect also have all those 5 afflictive emotions. And the afflictive emotions are also in that way there is no limit. So that is why the most important is that how we can just believe and establish that faith and into the Dharma, and then try to carry through practice so that we can be liberated from the samsara and attain enlightenment. So all the Dharma teachings, whatever it has been taught by Shakyamuni Buddha, is not just to deceive us, it is been taught according to its reality. But still, many of the foreigners just try to examine to the Buddha. So how one can just do really some sort of exam or research on Buddha. So somebody who even doesn't know what is going to happen tomorrow, and then is still thinking to just examine to a kind of enlightened being is kind of very funny. That a person, someone even that who doesn't know what one would do in the what oneself is doing this present moment of life, and doesn't know anything about the future and also the next life. So then the Buddha, who is the omniscient, how it is possible that one can just examine. Just because of strong afflictive emotion, then we completely just obscured ourselves. So in that way, that we just have some sense of belief and faith in the Buddha's teaching, and then try to understand properly, and then carry through the practice, and then to liberate from the samsara, and then attain complete enlightenment or the Buddhahood. That is our main importance. So all the enlightened Buddhas, that their great compassion to all the sentient beings is even just not comparable with a mother who is just have compassion or affection to one's child. So with the full devotion, faith and inclination, and then carry through these practices of receiving the four empowerment, that with the sense of that the Guru in the condensed nature of all the Buddhas, in form of that Guru Pema Sambhava, and then we receive these four empowerments. So when we are receiving these four empowerments, like a vast empowerment and secret empowerment and word empowerment and then the wisdom empowerment, then according to that one should feel and think, not just only reciting the words. In general, for the secret mantrayana or the bhajanana practices, of course, one need to receive the empowerment, but especially these four empowerments are most important. So, So the once the Guru is in the nature of Guru Padma Sambhava, who is the just condense of all the blessings and powers and wisdoms of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, and then to that Guru's enlightened mind, and then one's mind mingle together, and then try to meditate or abide in that nature without any elaboration.
Oh yeah.
So now this morning the Tsalung students that there is the teaching. So rest all you can just leave and then just carry through your practice according to your classes.
Yeah.